Madam President.
Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. I come to the floor today to strongly urge all of my colleagues to join Senator Kaine, and I want to thank him for his extremely thoughtful and amazing approach to this. I think it's so important that we reassert Congress's authority in decisions concerning our nation's security and curbing this administration's ability to put our troops in harm's way without consulting the American people. Madam President, following the early January attack on U.S. troops deployed in Iraq, triggered by President Trump's decision to launch a drone strike that killed Iran's Qasem Soleimani, I know that many Americans were frightened, like I was, to watch tensions then with Iran escalate so rapidly in real time. I'm glad the President's backed down, decided not to further escalate those tensions in recent weeks. As a voice for my home state of Washington, including all of our service members and military families and communities. But we're not off the hook, and we have every reason to believe that Iran may retaliate again, which is why I remain deeply disturbed by President Trump's rush to incite conflict in ways that could have significant negative impacts on our strategic goals in the region, and more importantly, the long-term safety and security of Americans at home and abroad. To date, neither President Trump nor his administration has provided any evidence to us here in Congress to justify his actions. And despite reports from the administration shortly after the attack that there were no U.S. casualties, we are now learning more than 100 service members, 100, have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injury following that attack, serious injuries that President Trump dismissed as simply headaches. Madam President, the American people expect their representatives, us, to have a say in decisions that may put their lives or the lives of a loved one at risk. And as the daughter of a World War II veteran and a Purple Heart recipient here in the Senate, I make decisions about our national security with deep concern for our brave service members and their families, a personal understanding of the sacrifices that they make for all of us in our nation, and an unwavering commitment to ensuring that they have the support that they need while they serve and when they come home. That's exactly why our Constitution mandates that the power to declare war rests with Congress, not the Commander-in-Chief, because those decisions weren't meant to be made by one person alone. And that's why I'm glad that my friend from Virginia, Senator Kaine, is offering this War Powers resolution, of which I'm very proud to be a co-sponsor. Passing this resolution is a first step towards protecting our service members and our interests in the region by removing our troops from hostilities in or against Iran unless there is a declaration of war or congressional authorization for the use of force. And this isn't just an issue for Democrats. I'm very proud that this resolution has bipartisan support, because no matter what side of the aisle you're on, we should all agree that Congress must play a role in our nation's foreign policy, as well as matters related to the health and safety of our service members. I am grateful for all of those who are serving in the Middle East and around the world. And that's why I refuse to stand by and accept that they could be put in jeopardy, or that our nation's foreign policy and safety could be upended by an impulsive late-night tweet. So I will continue to demand the President provide his legal justification for the drone strike in Iraq, commit to coming before Congress in advance of any further escalating steps, and explain to us how he will move forward in the region with the goal of protecting Americans, our allies, and our interests. In the meantime, considering the unique recklessness of this administration, it is urgently important for Congress to pass this resolution to block President Trump's ability to start a war with Iran and ensure that Congress is guaranteed the opportunity to hear whatever case the President may have before taking a vote to determine the path that we want our nation to go down. In 2002, I voted against the war in Iraq because I felt the administration was asking us to send our men and women into harm's way without a clear plan or a goal. And last week, the House passed legislation to repeal that 2002 AUMF, which is a step in the right direction towards bringing our brave troops home. The Senate should stand up and assert our authority to represent our constituents on this critical issue too, because as senators, they are the people to whom we are all accountable to. We have to be able to go home and look them in the eye and say, we gave questions as grave as decisions concerning war and peace the deliberation that they warrant, and that we have done everything we can to protect our nation and our service members. Madam President, you simply can't do that if you allow this president or any president to continue conducting foreign policy, especially by tweet unchecked. So Congress has an obligation to ensure a debate. We have an obligation to press this administration for a strategy and check its power if it doesn't present a compelling one, which so far it hasn't. Passing this War Powers resolution will help us do exactly that. So I strongly urge our colleagues to support this resolution. Thank you, Madam President. I yield the floor.